Okay, so let's start our discussion about SBM course, ICAEW Strategic Business Management course. The key issues which you need to consider, the contents of the course, the paper structure, and how we have to make sure that we don't fail this exam and we get it through in the first attempt. Okay, Strategic Business Management, Strategic Business Management, SBM. In advanced level of ICAEW, there are three exams which the students have to give. The first exam is the corporate reporting, the second is strategic business management, and third is the case study. I always say to my students that strategic business management exam is too much different from corporate reporting exam pattern. Corporate reporting is a technical exam, whereas the strategic business management exam is about dealing with business analysis skills. And it is more similar to case study exam. When you go for case study, you will also be tested on the business analysis skill. So basically, SBM is the preparation of that situation, the situation which you will face in case study in exam. The case study exam is 100% based on case and very less technical knowledge. But when we talk about SBM exam, you can distribute it like 70% is case evaluation and 30% is technical knowledge. So basically in SBM course, the technical knowledge content is very less. The greater content is about your business analysis skill. The examiner expects you that you read the scenario carefully and you evaluate the scenario. You use your analysis skills. Like I always give an example to my students that in SBM exam, the examiner has an expectation of a manager from you. Like one time there was a question that we were planning to purchase goods from a vendor and we had two options. We are a UK based company. We can go for a German supplier in the question, or we can go for a Japanese supplier. The examiner expected in his answer that a student should have evaluated that if we go for a Japanese supplier, it will incur greater transportation cost because Japan is far away from UK because it's an Asian country. But when you talk about German country, it's in Europe and your transport cost, your lead time and everything will be less. So now basically this is not about technical knowledge. This is about your analysis. This is about your understanding of the scenario and how you develop the answer. Majority of the answers in strategic business management course, 70% of the content can be done without any technical knowledge. Like today, if I'll go with you in a question of SBM, believe me, we can do 60-70% of it. Just we need to read the scenario carefully and we have to use our business analysis skills. Okay, so strategic business management exam which will prepare you for case study. Okay, now if we talk about paper structure of this course, now its paper structure is pretty much similar to case study exam, that you have two questions. Question 1, 60 marks. Question 1, 60 marks, a long case study. Like in the case study exam of ICAEW, the corporate reporting SBM and the case study exam. In the case study exam, we have a 100 marks case. In SBM exam, we have a 60 marks case in question 1 and we have a 40 marks case in question 2. Now, if you will look at the case of SBM, it is a long case. It is like it is a case of like 6 pages. And it takes around 30 to 40 minutes in just reading the case. And I always say to my students that the case is so long that sometimes we feel sleepy while reading the case, that when it will end. There's a lot of scattered knowledge. And same happens in the case study exam. The case study exam of ICAEW, in that also the case is very long and it takes a lot of time in reading it. Now, if I split the allocation of marks, technical content is 30 marks. Technical content is 30 marks. 30% is technical content and business analysis content. Your case evaluation content is 70%. Examiner will expect you that you have to comment on the performance of the company. You have to evaluate that what are the business risks faced by a company. You have to evaluate the growth strategies, that either we go for an acquisition or we go for organic growth. You have to take decisions like that. Okay. Now, but obviously it is the advanced level exam. And I always say that it's the, like if we play a game, it's the last level, I would say, the competition, the last, the giant competitor which comes, it is like that. Now you have to improve your business analysis skill a lot. Okay. Now, basically, if I talk about the course structure, what are the examiner's expectation from us about the course structure? Now, examiner has a lot of expectations from us in this exam. He expects that a student will have good knowledge of financial management. Financial management, a student should be good at financial management. Now, what do financial management include? He expects that you are good at investment appraisal. Now, I obviously expect from students at SBM level that they are good at these topics, but obviously they must have forgotten these areas, so we will do a brief review. Okay. Now, one more thing I expect, that you must know that it is an open book exam. Now, you are allowed to take any book you want. So don't waste time in learning things. When I teach you in class, what I want you to do is that you have to develop your material for the exam day. Like you have to write down all the formats on one place. I will obviously send you these documents, but what you need to do is that rather than rewriting all the documents in your register, you should develop your exam day. You should keep in mind that, okay, on my exam day, I should have a format of NPV. I should have a format of APV readily available, because when I see the exam question, I'll just go on that page and, okay, I'll have the format and I don't have to waste the time. So the tagging of your exam day handbook, that is very important. Like I remember my ICAEW exam day, one of my colleagues bought so many books, like he had a tower of books along with him. Now I thought that he has just wasted his time, because in exam you don't have time to pick each and every book. It's too time constrained. It's too time constrained. So you should have a good exam day handbook. Okay. In financial management, we have an area of investment appraisal. Now in investment appraisal, you need to revise net present value technique, NPV. You need to revise adjusted present value technique, APV technique. Okay, APV technique, in which we adjust the NPV we have calculated. Now again, most of the students remember that they have studied it in their past exams. But again, what I observe from my experience is that usually the students have also forgotten these areas. Like some students don't exactly remember the format of APV, because it's like 1 or 2 years the student have studied it. Okay, so NPV, APV, payback period, similarly IRR, ROS. Okay, so you will study these investment appraisal techniques. Then in financial management, we have to revise weighted average cost of capital, WACC, dividend valuation model, CAPM model, KD calculation, cost of preference share, beta equity, beta debt, gearing, ungearing. We have to revise all of these areas. Then in financial management, you have to study business valuation techniques. In business valuation, we have to revise free cash flow techniques, free cash flow to equity. Okay, so techniques like that we have to revise. Free cash flow, PE ratio technique, price earning ratio technique, net asset valuation technique. Okay. So again, what I say to my students is that many students already have these areas in their knowledge, but usually because it has been a long time you studied it, so it is possible that you have forgotten these areas. So we will have some sessions on them and we will revise these areas. Okay, obviously I will not be teaching you them for the first time. My pace in them will be of revision. Okay, because we have to revise a lot of areas: investment appraisal, WAC, business valuation. Then we have to revise acquisition and mergers. Acquisition and mergers. We have to revise restructurings. Like if a business is restructuring its capital structure, so we have to revise restructuring concepts. We have to revise, most importantly, hedging, a very important area. Um, Forward contracts, future contracts, option contracts, swap contracts. Now, it is one of the area where students have a fear, because it is really difficult area when we talk about hedging, and some students really struggle in this area. Okay, now once done with financial management, then we will have some areas of cost accounting. Now in areas of cost accounting, we have to cover ABC costing, activity-based costing. I hope you remember from your past studies ABC costing and absorption costing techniques. Okay, variance analysis, too many variances, sale volume analysis, sale price and variance analysis. Okay, because there have been questions in past when the examiner asked about this variance analysis, ABC costing, costing of products. So we have to revise all of them. Then another area which you need to revise is you have to revise your financial accounting. Like you have to revise your accounting standards also. Now, if you have given your corporate reporting exam recently, now that will be a great help for you. Now, in financial accounting, the examiner expects that you have knowledge of some of the standards like IFRS 2, IFRS 9, IFRS 13, IS 19. Similarly, you have knowledge of business combinations, IFRS 3, IFRS 10, definition of control, IFRS 11, joint ventures, okay, IFRS 15, revenues, IFRS 16, leases. So you need to revise this knowledge from your corporate reporting. Then further, you also need to have some knowledge on auditing and assurance. You need to have knowledge on auditing and assurance also. Now, if I talk about auditing and assurance, you need to have knowledge about procedures. You need to have knowledge about due diligence, that what due diligence is, how you have to develop the procedures. Like the examiner will give you in situation that we are going for an acquisition, and how do we verify the value of the company? What procedures should we perform? Okay, so you can have auditing and assurance areas also. Then you can have areas of ethics. You can have areas of ethics like client acceptance, ethical threats. Okay. And most important area, the most important area which you can expect is business analysis. Business analysis. Now for business analysis, this skill is always developed through practice. With passage of time, you will do practice, your business analysis skill will develop. So if you look at the course, it's a long course. Now it is obviously a course which creates a fear among the students that I have to cover a lot of areas. Like you have to cover financial management, you have to cover cost accounting, you have to cover financial accounting, auditing and assurance, ethics, business analysis. You have to cover a lot of areas. But despite of all this, I'll say you one thing. If I'll open a past paper with you now, you will still be able to do 60% or 70% of it. Because from all of these areas, this business analysis part forms 70% of the exam. The 70% of the exam is this business analysis. And this business analysis skill is developed with practice. It takes time. With practice, this skill will develop. With practice, your business analysis knowledge will develop. Your ability to analyze the scenario will develop. Okay, so if a student asks me that, sir, is it easy to pass corporate reporting exam or SBM exam? So I will say it is 10 times easier to pass SBM. It is 10 times easier to pass SBM as compared to CR. Because the CR exam is a technical exam. Now, this is not a technical exam. This exam is 70% dependent on your business analysis skill. Your ability to discuss, your ability to talk, your ability to evaluate. Like I'll just give you an example from my previous batch, which I taught. If I'll just give you an example of one past paper question. Now, this is a past paper question of SBM Hobart PLC. If you look at its answer, now first look at the question. How many pages? Page 1, page 2, then page 3, then page 4, and then, so it's almost 4.25 pages. And if you look at the writing of the ICAEW examiner, it's really small. It is really 4 pages. Now, if you look at the answer of this question, it is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 pages. In these 7 pages, I have not written the entire answer on some of the parts. I have just discussed the points. Now, if you look at the answer, now just evaluate that how much calculation is involved in it. This is the calculation part. Then this and this part is calculation. The rest of the answer is entirely theoretical discussion. If you just look at it, the rest of the answer is entirely theoretical discussion. We are discussing theory, like we should do this, we should do this. This should be our business strategy. This is a risk. The entire question is theoretical discussion. Now, this is the main reason I always say to my students that if I'll give you an exam paper of SBM in the first class even, you will be able to do 60 or 70% of it if you are good at business analysis. So it's 10 times easier to pass as compared to CR. Now, CR is really a difficult paper in which you have to revise the accounting standards and you should be very strong on them. Otherwise, you'll not be able to do a CR pass paper. Okay. Now, what will be my teaching approach? How do I teach to my students? Now, this is the most important thing, that how will you make sure that we pass this exam? Teaching strategy. Now, it is around more than 10 years that I've been teaching this exam. I've been teaching this paper when its old name was business analysis, in which the taxation area was also examined. So I've been teaching this exam since a long time. So if I share my experience of last 10 years, I just say to my students that work on past papers very good. If you are good at past papers, you'll easily pass this exam. Now, what will be my teaching strategy? Like if I will pick first topic, we will start with topical discussion. We will start with a revision of topics. Along with SBM past papers. Now, what do I mean by this? Along with SBM past papers. Now, my approach will be that first of all, if I start a topic of investment appraisal, I will revise UNPV, APV, all these techniques. Along with investment appraisal, I will make you do financial management questions. Okay. And then once I have revised the one topic, I will go towards 2 SBM past papers. Then I will make you revise WAC, and then I will make you go through 2 SBM past papers. Then I will make you go through like, for example, I will make you go through acquisition and mergers. And then I will again take you to two SBM past papers. Like we will be doing SBM past papers on and off after each topic. We'll revise hedging, we'll go for two papers. We'll revise reconstruction, we'll go for two SBM past papers. Now we'll be doing SBM past papers on and off, on and off, on and off. So that you can have an idea that how these exam topics will be examined in SBM. Now this is very important. Like a student wastes a lot of time in revising back. He wasted 10 days in revising back, and when he opened the SBM past paper, what he get to know is that it is only examined for 5 marks. So oh, I wasted such a long time on that. I should have just given it a fast review. Even if you look at the SBM book issued by ICAEW, you will only find hardly 2 to 3 pages on VAC. Out of 1200 pages books, there will be only 3-4 pages on VAC. So what the rest? The rest will be on business analysis, discussion, that if you look this in the exam, you should discuss this. So the major part of the exam is about your analysis, and which is different every time. Every time there will be a new scenario. Every time the examiner will expect you different analysis. And the ability to analyze the scenario will develop with practice. Okay, like once we are done with acquisition and merger, we'll study business valuation. Again, we'll go for 2 SBM past papers.
Sir?
This way. Yeah.
Should I haven't got any notes or anything, obviously. Should I just buy one thing, and should I just buy the question bank? The physical question bank?
No need to buy. I'll give you the files. You just need to take out its printout.
Okay, so just. Okay.
I'll send you the soft copy of the question bank. Okay, so don't worry about that. What you just need to do is that you have to study what I'll give you the homework. Yeah. Okay, now so business valuation, hedging. So we will be doing these SBM past papers on and off. On and off, we will be doing these SBM past papers. Okay, so this is how I will be teaching the entire course. Once we'll finish the course, we'll go for 4 or 5 questions at the end then. Okay, so basically this exam will prepare you for your case study exam. Now you can call it as a mini case study exam. It's a mini case study exam which will prepare you for that day. Okay, so what I expect from you is that while we are revising investment appraisal, if you have your old booklets, you can open them, you can start your revision on your own, or what you can do on maximum is that you can revise your financial accounting. Because
so financial accounting, I'm fresh with I have my notes, I'll have my notes with me. Financial accounting, I don't think I'll have, we can do a quick recap, but I should be quite fresh on all those standards. Investment appraisal, financial management stuff. This weekend, I want to try look for my old FM notes. I used to have a folder. So I'm going to try find that and then get that out. So then I'll have a look when you're teaching me, I can have a look alongside and refresh my knowledge kind of thing.
What I do with my students normally is I don't teach them financial accounting. I always say that I expect from you is that financial accounting will be revised by you because you are also covering corporate reporting. Yeah. I work on financial management more than on cost accounting and then on business analysis. The financial area, the auditing area, and the ethics area. These 3 areas are usually covered by me during the past paper discussion. While I'm doing the past paper discussion, we will cover IS 19 also. We'll discuss those issues during the past paper discussion. Okay, so in this way we can save our time because usually the students are weak in this area. In this area, they are too much weak because you have studied cost accounting a way time back. That ABC costing and variance analysis areas. Okay, so I would say that it's a long course and you have to make an effort if you want to complete it in time. We have to make a lot of effort if you want to complete it around within 2 months. So we have to increase our duration and we have to take longer sessions. Okay. Otherwise, still you have, I think, 1 month to decide that before paying the exam fees, that if you want, you can go for a delay. Uh, but within 1 month, you will have a clear picture that what should be your decision.
I want to try it. I want to definitely try sit this exam in November, because in October, most of October, I have off. I have holidays. I've taken a lot of holidays already in preparation for thinking I was going to sit an exam in November. So a lot of my time in October will be dedicated to this day, every day, full days. The next month I'm going to be working. So if we do lessons as and when, and obviously in the evenings, and obviously I'm at home, or if you feel like there's different time you want to do a lesson earlier in the day, then we can work on that.
Just give me, tell me some of your times, like on weekdays, at what time are you free?
So I think you're 4 hours ahead, right? What's the time there right now?
Right now it's
10,
10 p.m.
10 p.m. So you're four hours ahead of me.
Yeah.
So I can do probably obviously right now I can't tell you my schedule, because obviously every week in terms of meetings and stuff I don't know my schedule until, but most of the time in the evenings I'm free from 5:30, 5 o'clock onwards. 5 o'clock, let's say, onwards, I should be free. I can do lessons later. I can do lessons if you want lesson in the day sometime, a short, like an hour and a half lesson in the day maybe. Sometimes if you can't do later, then I can work around, and I'm quite flexible. Sometimes I can let you know, like a few days before, okay, so on Wednesday, I can have a lesson in the day if you want, and then we can work. That's what I used to do with Sir Mustafa as well. So I'm quite flexible as well.
On weekends, you are available on whole day.
Weekends, yeah, preferably earlier in the day, like preferably in the morning, during the day, because then obviously in the evening, sometimes, yeah, your focus is, if you want in the evening, I can do in the evening as well, but sometimes in the weekend, obviously you're with family, so weekends in the evening, sometimes but it's not a problem. I'm flexible, yeah.
Okay, but what I want you to say is that we have to complete around, you can have an expectation that we have to complete 90 to 100 hours if we want to complete this course with an honest perspective. Otherwise, it will be like rushing around. So,
I was thinking, can we, in terms of the course content, firstly, like you said, obviously teaching me, and you're going to do 1 or 2 past papers as you're in the teaching phase, yeah? Can you complete the teaching phase within 30 to 40 hours? And then obviously the past papers side, I want to dedicate more time to that afterwards. But I'm saying in the teaching phase.
Now that will depend on your past knowledge, that I need to look at how much you remember from your past knowledge, that whether you remember APV, whether you, like some students are that they say that, so we don't remember the entire APV. Or some students, maybe they say that we haven't studied it in the past. So then in those cases, it take more time. But what I expect is like within 40 to 50 hours maximum, we will complete the teaching phase.
So let's say 40 for now. We can say 40 for now, and then we can see.
Yeah. But what I do is that I don't make you do like that I will only teach you the topics and then I'll go to the past papers in the end. Because in that way, you will always remain distorted. What I do with my students is that when I teach a topic, I go for SBM past papers along with it, so that a student can have an idea that what is the expectation of the SBM examiner. Like for example, if you study too much on APV, the SBM examiner do not ask too much. He asks just a small part of it.
Yeah.
Like if you look at these answers, I showed you a past paper answer. If you look at this answer, this calculation, if you look at this calculation, and this is not a very detailed calculation of advanced financial management. It is just like a basic calculation, revenue, cost of sale, gross profit. You are just making a forecast P&L. So sometimes what the students make an error is that they study financial management in too much depth, and the examiner don't ask in that depth. So basically they waste their time. Okay.
Yeah.
So my approach will be that I'll be carrying the past papers along with the session, and I'll be giving you assignments that, okay, this is your assignment, complete this question and submit it to me so that I can evaluate that where do you stand.
Yeah.
Okay. So Let's start with the first topic from the next class. We'll start with the investment appraisal.
Can we start tomorrow, sir?
Yeah, we can start tomorrow. Most probably, I will try to take the class tomorrow in the morning. But there is one issue going on in our city because if you know that in Karachi, in Pakistan, in India, there are religious sects. A Shia group. We have a community within our religion, and on 9th and 10th Muharram, they have their gatherings. And due to that, due to security reasons, the government of Pakistan closes the mobile signals and the internet signals due to terrorist attack threats. So if that happens, if the government closes the signals, then I'll not be able to conduct the class till 6 p.m. in the evening. Okay, so then I'll conduct the class after 6 p.m. So basically, these 2-3 days are problem days going on in our city due to rain issues and then these gatherings of religious issues going on. So I will inform you in the morning, like around 9-10 a.m., that whether I'm going for a session in daytime or we'll go for an evening. But in any case, if you want to go for exam in October, we have to take a session daily. Now that on you also and on me also. We have to take time for it.
That is pretty. I want to cover as much as possible. There may be the odd day sometimes where I might be like, sir, can we do more hours today and then take tomorrow? I might have some commitment, but I'll work with you. But as long as I know is most of the time, let's try go for daily classes.
Advice says that try to work hard in the beginning so that you don't get pressure at the end. At the end, you need some time to prepare on your own. If like 15 days are left in the exam and you know that 3 topics are still yet to be studied, then you will not the exam. Start to give maximum at the first month and take a relax after a month. After a month, be in a good position and you will have an idea that, okay, now I can do it because major things are in my control.
Of course. I'm just going to let you know, can we keep lessons consistently from Friday evening till Sunday next weekend, I'll be away to see some family in UK. So just from Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But if we can keep it next week, next week. We can maybe do a lesson maybe in Friday morning maybe, but let's try do lessons continuously until then or do as many hours tomorrow. So we'll do it like that, yeah?
We can discuss about the next day timing always at the night ahead and we can decide the time. But what I want to say is that we have to make sure that due to no reason, we don't miss any day for at least a month. So that you are in a good position at least after a month that, okay, I can do it. Okay, because if like in a month we'll do 2-hour session daily. So by the end of the first one, you will complete your 60-70% of the session. So then you will be confident that, okay, I'm ready to go for the exam.
So like I said, as we're learning, we're going to be doing past paper question bank questions alongside, yeah?
Past paper sessions alongside is the most necessary element so that you can have an idea that what the examiner asks. And I'm saying it again, the SBM paper is far more different than your past studies.
Yeah.
Because in the past exams, what you have done is that you study a technical content, you do a past paper, and you say that, okay, I studied this topic and I've done the past paper. Now, SBM and case study exam are different. These exams are of business analysis. You study a topic and you do a past paper question, and then you say that, why did I study that topic? It was only examined for 5 marks. The majority general. I would have done it if I was good in business analysis. And in like first 10-15 questions, you will be just asking me one question that how will I be able to do it? But after that time, you will be able to gain the grip on it. Okay. So let's start our sessions from tomorrow. From tomorrow, we'll 2-3 hours.
You'll let me know in the morning, or just remember, sir, you're 4 hours ahead of me, yeah? So yes, just remember I'm 4 hours behind. So just let me know in the morning what time you think, and then I can get back to you tomorrow all day.
I'll try to do it in the daytime if there is no such issue. Now it is just an issue of tomorrow. After tomorrow, we'll be available. Like we'll be living in London, so I hope that thing.
Just in the weekdays, are you okay doing lessons? So my evening, Are you okay with that in the most of the weekdays? Sometimes I can do less in the day, but
Basically,
if there's most,
I have no commitment at your evening time, but what happens is that I wake up at 8 a.m. in the morning and I've been continuously teaching. So your evening happens at 6 p.m., it's 10 p.m. at my side. So usually by that time, the battery of the teacher,
yeah,
the power gets down. So that's why I always suggest that try to use the teacher in daytime when he's full in energy. When you use the teacher at night time, usually he'll not be giving his best. So try to go for timing in like 6, 7 p.m. at my side so I can give you a good portion. Okay? So
okay.
we have to make it through, and I have made my mind that I have to give you classes for 2 months. So in these 2 months, we both have to make a commitment that we don't have to miss any session.
For sure.
So
Okay, thank you.
we'll start from tomorrow. I'll make a Google Drive folder. Give me your Gmail ID. I'll make a Google Drive folder and I'll upload the recordings and the class files on that folder. You can access those.
Same way like Sir Mustafa used to do. Same thing. Just upload. Okay, same thing. All right then. Okay.
Share me your Gmail ID and I'll send you the access of the folder. Okay?
Okay. Thank you. I'll send it now. Bye bye.
Thank you.